No, you don't need the.
I'm doing this my way. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league.
What's up, everybody? It's Pikel with League of Items. And in today's video, we're going to go over prize picks so they came out and we can take a look at everything. So we'll go game by game, starting with LNG against LGD. LNG are obviously huge favorites in this spot. They have seemed to be low kill score games in general so far this split. They haven't played to the level that we expect of them. But, you know, we know from a talent perspective, they're one of the more talented teams in the region. So they're 3-2 right now. Let's get their last match. Their last match was a bad performance against Top Esports. They also lost to OMG. So they're coming off of back-to-back losses. I don't expect them to lose to LGD. I don't expect them to drop a game against LGD. And for that reason, I think Tarzan over is a very good pick. Against Shadow, this should be a good spot for Tarzan to pick up additional kills. Shadow's a pretty important player for LGD, and their playstyle lends itself to, you know, Tarzan getting a bunch of kills. DoNB has been much more supportive recently. If DoNB goes off one of these nights, I wouldn't be surprised, but I like the Tarzan spot here. And I think that Light is also a good idea, but I prefer Tarzan over Light. We've talked about it in Discord. We actually went back and forth a little bit about it the other day. And, you know, everybody kind of loves watching League right now where AD carries have these huge pop-off performances. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily more talented than other players who play a more reserved style. It's just that it's fun to watch. And, you know, we can't really complain about the fact that it's more fun to watch. Next up, we have Sandbox against Fredit Brion. So in this match, I think that Sandbox is definitely the better team. They beat DRX in their last match. I expect them to beat Fredit Brion. The one thing about this matchup is it's definitely close, and it is a letdown spot for Sandbox. I think that the player we want to be on the most is Prince. I think Prince over is the play that most people are going to be attracted to. We played the Prince over 4 last time that they were on the slate. Prince goes over 3.5, only 4 out of 10, so it is leaning towards the under. That's probably the smarter play. Croco at 2.5 has only been 3 out of 10. So this is a spot where it's a close matchup. Yes, they have won more recently, and they've been looking pretty good. People in Discord, and I think the League community in general that pays attention to the LCK like Sandbox. So this is probably a spot where the unders are the correct side. It's not one of my favorite plays though. I don't feel as strongly about that as I do the Tarzan play. Coming off the, I don't know if Umti's even starting. I think that he was benched in their last match. I think Raptor was the one playing. Henna 2 out of 10. So I don't think we really want to touch that series in general. If you think that one of these teams is going to 2-0, then, you know, play that side. You can justify getting the overs. And if you're very strong in that conviction, you could always try to do an under on one of the Fredit Brion players. So, you know, that's for what it's worth. You know, you have to trust yourself as well. Like, it's good to take my opinion on some of these things, but you need to also trust the plays yourself. Next match, this is an easy one for me. I think that Kanavi is in a smash spot over FPX. It should be a bloody match. I hope that it's a bloody match. I think that Kanavi at 6.5 has to basically get to 7. He's done that in 50% of his games. Some of his games, they've been losing recently. So I like the FPX matchup for JDG. As long as they win one of the first 2 games, I think Kanavi is probably the player we can trust the most to be consistent with the number of kills that he gets. If FPX wins one of these games, I think it's more likely Kanavi has a good game than Hope. Hope at 8.5. He's at 8.5. So that must have gotten bet up. So that probably went from 8 to 8.5. So Kanavi is definitely the spot we want here. If you think that FPX is able to pick up a game, LWX is in a good spot. We probably missed out the best of the number on Hope. Then we have Genji against Kwangdong. Kwangdong's coming off of their win over T1. I think that Peanut is always a jungler that we can consider the over on. I like going after junglers right now. 80 carries and junglers are the ones that we're going to be hitting the overs on the most, I think. Actually, and mid laners are... I think it's probably jungle is the most consistent, though. I would go with the Peanut over. I would also consider playing Teddy over 3.5. We were willing to do it against T1. We should be willing to do it against Genji. Teddy has hit the over in this spot 8 out of the last 10 times. I think you can justify playing that until it doesn't hit. Then we have Top Esports against Weibo Gaming. This is like the match of the day by far in my mind. I'm very excited to watch this tomorrow morning. So I went through the matchup itself in a different video, so if you want to hear my thoughts on that, go check that out. Tian has hit the over in 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. SFM 5 out of 10. Jackie Love 8 out of 10. And Huan Feng 6 out of 10. So I think that the Huan Feng over is probably my favorite spot here. And that's basically it. So that's what I would run tonight. I would go with Tarzan over, Kanavi over, Peanut over, Teddy over, and Huan Feng over. I'm getting exposure to my favorite play from each one of the games. If you wanted to kind of go all in on a certain match, I would probably say that JDG is my favorite play of the night, followed by LNG being my second favorite. The Top Esports against Weibo Gaming match, I think there is some... I would consider playing like 3 of these overs. I think SFM over 4 is realistic. I think Tian over 5 is realistic. And all we need is one of these games to be like 20 to 15 or 19 to 12, something like that, and we could get at least 3 of these players in this matchup hitting the over. So just treat it like a game stack, like what you would do on DraftKings, something like that, which I am also doing tonight on DraftKings. But that's basically it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.